Right, so before we begin, I'm one of those kind of people. So before we begin, can everyone stand up, please? Everyone stand up. That's right. Oh, that's much better. We've had a hell of a time getting here. I'm just making sure my timing's okay. I want you to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in. Oh, and breathe out. Breathe in. Can anyone guess? Breathe out, of course. Otherwise, you're going to be dying. I want you to turn to the person next to you and say, "I like you." God, do it. I like you. Thank you, Claire. Sit yourselves down, sit yourselves down. Just a little bit different. Sit yourselves down, sit yourselves down. Right. Just to change it. I love the fact. Always leave the crowd because the two people standing. I really do like you. It's like, okay, that's a lovely bonding moment for everyone. As Claire rightly says, yes, I'm a keynote speaker. I do a lot of this kind of stuff. I talk about the future of work. I'm going to run through things really quickly in the next 10 minutes for you, all about this key thing, which is the fifth industrial revolution. Yeah. The first one, as you know, because you're a clever crowd, you know, the first one was steam, of course. The second was electricity. The third one was automation. No arguing, Tom. Yes, you could say it's manufacturing. The fourth was computers. And the fifth, I think, where we are now, is Industry 5.0. We're in this new place, which is all about intelligence. It's about the cognitive world. It's INTELLIGENCE, which I know is a misspelling, but it's Intel and then the idea of agency. So intelligence, that's where I want us all to think about. So with the right people, the right technology, you can take over the world. Without them, that world takes over you. Who is egotistical enough to quote themselves in the first 2 minutes of his talk? Me. Okay, so revolutions change things fast. We should know this, of course. Revolutions are a time of immense change. They can come around because of 3 or 4 different things. In fact, 4 different things. They can be social, generational changes. They can be economic, as you rightly talked about, Claire. The economic times can change things. They can be ones that we always know, of course, the political change. Can anyone guess which one was made by AI? There's technological change, thinking about AI. Things like the printing press, and then there's a huge amount of understanding that came from that. A technological change that powered a whole thing. Reformation, capitalism. I won't go on about it too much. I've only got 8 minutes. So, a lot of people think, and he's a really great guy. Does everyone know Simon's second name is? Thank you, because I just can't say it. Brilliant. So Simon Sinek, and Simon says, start with your why. It's a great book. If you haven't read it, please do. I think start with the who. So who's going to be changed in this moment of industrial revolution? Well, obviously you are. You're going to be changing. Your team, I think your company, and actually your sector. And the reason why I want to talk about those individually is because everyone changes at different rates. Yes, the fifth industrial revolution is a big thing, but you might all change at different rates. Everybody, of course, will know this quote, yeah? The future is here, it's just not evenly distributed. Actually, the full quote is evenly distributed yet. And so all these changes are coming, but they might not be coming straight away for your sector. So why is revolution needed, especially around the future of work? Well, productivity is down. Employee engagement is also down. Happiness is also down, and therefore profits are down as well. We're at this bit now where we need a revolution. We need intelligence. So artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, independent intelligence, and organizational intelligence. They are the 4 things I think underpin this fifth industrial revolution. So, artificial intelligence, we know with artificial intelligence what's happened. We know how quickly it grew. We know that it got to 1 million users in 5 days. It took Netflix 3.5 years. Put it into a different way, okay, the telephone took 72 years to get to 100 million users. AI took 72 days. That is how quickly this change is coming. And it's not just the number of users, it's how well it's doing and how quickly it's changing. So look at version 1 to version 5. We're now on 6.1 with Midjourney. Look at the change, and that's only been a year. Oh, by the way, if you wonder what this image is, this is me just typing in Dan bracing Mancunian weather on the way here. No word of a lie. This is what it came up with, yeah? It's astounding what it can do instantly. Google have just released yesterday that the fact their AI can now be better than a doctor, not only in diagnosis, but also in patient care. This is where we are right now. And this is kind of whether we like it or not. Then we've got to start thinking about artificial intelligence, the number of people that are actually using it and where are they using it. So it might not be in the Western countries this massive change comes. It actually might be from other places. It's also worth starting to think about, has everyone looked at the GPT store yet? Remember when the Apple store came out with the iPhone, it had 500 apps on there. GPT did this, 3 million on there, 200,000 in productivity alone. These are tiny agents that can do part of your job for you. It's amazing what you can do. So People are saying right now, AI is the new electricity, and I think they might be right. Other people say much cleverer things, like Ant. He says this. He talks about the new world and the new sun rising. So artificial intelligence will boost productivity. But what about emotional intelligence? We need emotional intelligence because we need those soft skills too. It cannot just be a world of AI. We need the soft skills. We need to understand our emotions, not only because it'll make the machines better, but it'll make us happier as well. Because Simon might have been wrong about start with the why, but he's right about this. When people are financially invested, they want to return. When they're emotionally invested, they want to contribute. And that's where we need to go now. We need to start thinking about emotional intelligence, especially as leaders. Especially as leaders. We have to start changing and stop being bosses and start being leaders. So you might not know this, but about 75% of careers are actually derailed because of a lack of emotional intelligence. This is the new world. We'll need to become more emotionally intelligent. Because the future of work is not just about getting things done, it's about having the joy in the journey and the good we do for each other. Another fantastic person said that. You'll be talking or listening from her later on. So emotional intelligence will make sure that employee engagement goes up. Independent intelligence. Independent intelligence is this. It's the ability to think for yourself. It's the ability to act entrepreneurially. This will be the next thing, because as Robert Greene rightly says, the future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways. So independent intelligence, if you haven't read these books, please do. Start thinking about autonomy, mastery and purpose. That's Daniel H. Pink with Drive. Think again, Adam Grant. This is about independent intelligence. And as I said in my TEDx talk, the future of work isn't what you think, it's not what you feel, it's what you love. That's where we need to go to next, okay? And this means business will have to become business as unusual. We'll have to start doing things differently, especially thinking for ourselves. Now, some speakers are fantastic, and they're going to listen to Martin later on, and he says this, it's about curiosity and growth and transformation. That's what independent intelligence is, the ability to start thinking like a startup and acting like a startup. So independent intelligence means that happiness will go up, happiness goes up. What about organizational intelligence? Organizational intelligence is the ability to start thinking about how we do more with less. We have to start thinking, not only, as Jim Collins used to say back in the day, about getting the right people on the bus. Yeah, I do love the fact that we still use this idea of buses. I mean, how old school is that? Get the right people on the bus and the right seats. I mean, he did say it in the 1970s just to defend him. But we still use this, don't we? But of course, with remote work and hybrid work and all those things, maybe don't think about a bus. But we do need to start consciously thinking about how we gather together. How do we consciously do this? This is The Art of Gathering, a fantastic book worth reading, because of course we cannot bowl alone. Business cannot just be done with technology. Business cannot be done just by ourselves for it to be successful. We cannot just bowl alone. So, as a futurist, I believe that actually it was going to be the global pandemic that happened that was going to become this massive trigger for change. Yeah, but of course it has made things change more quickly. You know, the old cliche we had, was it 10 years of change in 1 year, whatever the cliche is, but it's absolutely right and true. And we most probably had 2 years of the global pandemic. But what I actually think you need to think about is this. We now have this moment of radical flexibility. Radical flexibility means that people can become much more productive. Add to that emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence, independent intelligence, and you have this world where you almost have superhuman abilities. Yeah, so if you're a leader, start thinking about radical flexibility. As Richard Branson says, we'd like to give people the freedom to work where they want. This is the time for work from anywhere. Let's get rid of the thing, working from home, remote work, hybrid. It's work from anywhere. It's doing your job. And as a leader, we might also want to start thinking about something slightly different, which is around the gig economy. We might not start thinking about freelancers and the gig economy and people being a lot more free in what they do. This is going to be a big breakaway for a lot of businesses, and that's why we need to have organizational intelligence. Okay? So, as Gary rightly says, not like I know him so well to call him Gary, but Gary says the future structure will be decentralized with smaller creative teams that can make decisions faster. If you see in the news at the moment, you'll start seeing there's going to be a lot of layoffs. There's going to be a lot of change in the market. You might all be worrying about this. Do not worry about it. Start grabbing hold of emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence, independent intelligence. Start doing things not only for yourself, but to boost your careers. Start thinking, how can you get ahead? But the future is likely to be smaller businesses doing really well because they are more agile and they're could potentially be cleverer. Anyway, someone much more clever than I says this: true organisational intelligence prioritises human potential over technological substitution. You'll be hearing from him later. He's Phil. Hi, Phil at the back. So, organisational intelligence. Organisational intelligence allows us to start making a bit more money as well. So this is the time of the fifth industrial revolution. We need intelligence. We need artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, independent intelligence, and organisational intelligence. This is what we need. I also need to make sure that I'm on time. So, as Albert Einstein beautifully concluded, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used to create them. The situation we're in now has to change. I think it's the fifth industrial revolution. As I said at the beginning, with the right people and the right technology, you can take over the world. Without them, that world takes over you. Who's egotistical enough to put himself next to Albert Einstein? Me. Yeah. We also share the same birthday. Maybe I'm him reincarnated. I am not. Terrible at maths, let's be frank. So, this is the new intelligence. This is the idea of the new intelligence. I promised that I'd only be 11 minutes 22. If you'd like to find out any more information, please go to fiftindustrialrevolution.co.uk. It is there. And please do use the hashtag today. My name's Dan Sodergren. Thanks for your time.